Hey, what's up? This is B the Installer, and I'm here to finally install the fabulous LG C9. I've installed this TV a bunch, but I haven't had an opportunity to put it on a video, so now is the time we're going to do that. I'm going to show you how it goes on this Eco Gear tilt and extend arm, and I'm excited to do that. So let's go ahead and unbox this thing and get it on the wall. So the stand right here is probably the heaviest piece besides the TV in here. This has to weigh at least 30 pounds. So if you're not gonna put it on the stand, you can move this aside. These two parts are this is the other part of the stand. You connect them together. We're not gonna show you how to do that today, but now that you have that off, the TV doesn't seem like it weighs 100 pounds. And here we go. This is the LG C9. And though it is a little fragile, it's not quite as fragile as people think. And it has, oh look, it's broken, just kidding. This is a plastic coating on the front, so you know, if you have your fingertips on it, it's not the end of the world. At the end, we'll take that plastic off and you'll be good. So this is what it looks like out of the box. Very nice TV. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put it up where this other TV is here, the Samsung we're replacing. But we gotta take that TV down. We're gonna put the Eco Gear bracket on the back of this, and then we'll go ahead and throw it up. So we are gonna open this Eco Gear mount. This is a full tilt wall mount. It is a model EGLT2. I think you can find it on Amazon. Eco Gear makes pretty good mounts. So we'll open this up and see what's inside, so you can know what you're getting into on this mount. And I'll give you a little tips on what you can throw away and whatnot. And then first thing you can throw away is this template. And then we'll keep the instructions in case you want to look at those, figure out what tools you may need. I mean, you're going to basically need for this install, you're going to need a screwdriver to put the bracket on here. You're going to need a tape measure to measure it up, stud finder, drill bit, drill. Those are the basics, level. And then, there may be some other things if you're trying to conceal the wires and stuff. So let's go ahead and unbox this. All right, so we have the two brackets that go on the TV here. We have the wall plate. I'm gonna move that aside because we'll use that as the template later. Instead of using the template, I just use the wall plate itself. Well, what's the point of using a template when you can just stick the actual wall plate up there and make your same marks? Because this is exact and sometimes the templates aren't exactly accurate. So we'll move that out of the way. And then we have two brackets. These two brackets have an arrow on them that faces up, and then the knobs face out. So we'll put these on the TV. Then you have to hold these securement screws and the hexagonal key at the end. You will use those to secure the TV mount in. In here you have some lag bolts and some washers. These little anchors are pretty useless. They're in case you have a concrete wall, you can use those, but there's much better anchors to use if you're gonna put in a concrete wall. Otherwise, just disregard those and use these. And then finally, we have all the different bolts you're gonna use to put this on the TV. So this is an LG TV, so we're gonna be using the M6 screws here. I'm gonna probably use the shortest ones and just get it very tight because it already has some thickness to the mount. So let's go ahead and connect this to the TV. So first we're gonna put these brackets on like I had said, and for this LG C9, we have to, you can either lay this flat on the ground, or what I do is I put something in the back side there just to hold it so it can't tip forward, and what I do is I just rip this off right here. So pretty easy there. And then we have access to all these, and these are gonna keep the TV from tipping this way, and I have my tool bucket behind it there in the front of the styrofoam on the other side. So we need to get these brackets on the TV here. And for most of the TVs, you want to kind of situate them in the middle of the TV. These holes are pretty low on the TV, so I'm going to be using them kind of like this, where I go middle and low and keep this extra piece up high. A lot of mounts do that with this TV because most of the brains of the TV are below midline, and so there's not much up in the top. So we're going to go ahead and connect these on. Just make sure that you connect your brackets nice and secure to the TV, and then we can move forward. All right, so we have the arrows facing up because this is what catches on the wall plate, and then we have the knobs facing out, which is what you need. And just before we move on, I just want to let you guys know that at the end of the install, you need to secure with the safety screw at the bottom of these two here, so it's easy to show now. Safety screws go in here, and then at the top you can adjust this with the hexagonal. If you do it clockwise, I think it raises it up, raises that side of the TV up. If you do it counterclockwise, it lowers that side of the TV. So it's all kind of connected here, so you can just use the hexagon at the top and you can make sure that your TV's level if it's not. I'm sure ours will be perfect though. So now that the brackets are on, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna measure where the TV is relative to this mount. So, because we have the mount, I can just show you how it goes. But what we wanna do is get a measurement from the bottom of the TV to where the bracket goes on the wall. So the easy way to do it is just take the wall plate here and hold it and measure from there to here. And also to the top, it's just easy to know. So what I do is take the tape measure, connect it from the bottom to the top, and throw the bracket in there. And we have it's 32.5 inches, and it's at, let's call it 16.5 of 32.5. 16.5 of 32.5. So from the bottom, 16.5 inches up will be where the top of this wall plate is, and that's why we know we can put this TV exactly where we want on this wall. So let's go ahead and put the wall plate up on the wall. All right, so this is over a fireplace, and we had a TV here before, so we're just gonna make sure that we cover the power outlet and the cords. So we want the TV to be about 4.5 inches off the mantle, which is about right there. So we had 32.5 inch tall TV, as we had said before. And we want to make it a mark at about 16.5. So we make a mark right here. That's 16.5. That will put the bottom of the TV below this power outlet and assure that none of this is visible. So again, if the mount is there, the top of the mount is there, we have 32.5. This is the top and the bottom, and that will be an exact measurement. All right, so we need to find center. So on a fireplace install, it's easy because you can just use the mantle in most instances. You can just measure the mantle. It's 65, so you can go 32.5. And then when you have that mark, you can use your level and level up to the mark that you had on the wall. Right there. And there's your center mark, okay? And then we have the top of the mount right here. And then we just need to find the studs. So I have a stud finding video if you need, we'll link it, and you can use that to help find the studs. A couple of the methods are just using these boxes to identify where studs are. Right here we can feel in there that there is a stud, so that's an easy one. We'll just mark just to the left of this box. 3/4 of an inch to the left would be center of that stud. And since we have it, let's go ahead and just mark it up. They have some, holes already. It kind of helps us cheat a little bit, but we got to make sure that our mount will work. We don't care if their holes are accurate or not. So there is one line there, and then we got to most likely have one in this area, but I'll use a stud finder just to check. Good stud finder. It's fine. I'm not getting anything now. So it looks like it's just left of those screws. We'll line it up on these screws, and then we can always double check if we need to. Like I said, the stud finding video where we can make 3 holes and make sure they all hit on that stud. Let's go ahead and mark it. We'll check this one and see if it's right, but I like those. So now, instead of using the template like I said before, we know where we want the top of the mount, we know where the studs are, and we know where center is. So what we'll do is line up this mount. Here's the little notch is center, okay? And we don't need it perfect, we just need it close to center. So in this instance, we can go a little bit to the right, or we can go a little bit to the left. I like going a little to the left because it's going to center the mount on the 2 studs a little bit better. So if we move it to the left like that, we're still going to be able to get the brackets on because the pattern is smaller than this mount's width. So we'll go ahead and find the line for the top of the mount, bring it up to that line, level it out, make sure that both Both of the hole areas that cross this line are visible, and now that it's level, I'm going to mark all 4 spots. And now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to screw in the top 2 bolts. I'm going to drill those holes, and we'll wait to drill the bottom ones until the mount is up. All right, so we have these 4 lag bolts, and we're going to use a 1/4 inch drill bit, and we are going to drill these 4 holes. And we are going to drill the top 2 holes. So we got the top 2 holes drilled, and now we're going to go ahead and put the mount up. The reason I do that is so we can put the mount up without all 4 bolts in, and that way it allows us to get a little bit more adjustment if it's not perfectly level. If I put all 4 bolts in, it kind of locks us into position. So I'm going to go ahead and put these 2 bolts in, and I'm going to tighten them up by hand so we don't break the heads off the bolt. Put the level up, and I'm going to square this up and tighten these 2. So those 2 are tight, and now we can drill the bottom 2 holes, and we can use this mount as a guide, where the template you might be able to push around. This metal is going to make sure that you can't go outside the perimeter of the bracket. So we shall just drill here. And again, we're going to go ahead and go ahead and screw in the bottom 2 bolts, and we will have the mount secured. That mount is secure into 2 studs, and anyone can comfortably put their nice new LG C9 on this without being concerned it's going to fall. So good, strong, eco gear metal. So let's go ahead and put the TV up. So now we're going to go ahead and secure the bottom in on this mount and make sure it's level, and then we'll show you a couple features of this LG C9. So again, we have the securement screws here. We're going to put those at the bottom, and the hex key for the top. So I'm going to put this secure screw in the bottom here. So we are going to reconnect the HDMIs. I believe they are using a receiver, so we're going to need to make sure that the receiver HDMI is in the number 2, which is the ARC, the audio return channel. Most TVs now have one of those HDMIs deemed the ARC, the audio return channel, which it's dedicated sound that goes back to a receiver or to a sound bar. So make sure that you have that HDMI correctly connected to the ARC that goes back to your sound bar or your receiver. All right, so now we have it connected. Let's square it up, tilt it down, and now we're ready to turn this sucker on. It's the first time we've needed this bag. Inside is the remote and battery. So let's get the remote going. It also comes with an audio video cable, but most people don't need that audio video cable any longer because they use HDMI. But you can connect one composite or component video. Actually, composite video. If you need a component video, you have to order it from LG. All right, let's fire it up. And we'll get through this setup real quick and let you guys see what it looks like at the end. All right, so we have the LG C9 up here on the EcoGear mount, and you can see how thin this TV is. It's so thin, it's really nice. So that's one of the best features. And the other feature is, if you can come around here, is how great the TV, the quality looks. We have it on 4K, the HDR, and I mean, it looks so clean and so vibrant. No other TV on the market can compare to this C9. It's great. If you're not too worried about it being in a bright room, and you watch TV at night and you can like shut the shades, this TV is the most vibrant TV on the market. So I love the C9, and I hope you guys do too. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of us mounting the LG C9 on this EcoGear mount. Pound the like button. Make sure you subscribe to get more videos like this. And just remember, if you watch these videos, you can be the installer.